Men have no use for pterodactyl claws on a woman. No use for 3-inch, 5-inch, 10-inch, Cardi B inch, whatever you want to call it. Long, ridiculous nails on a woman. It doesn't attract us. The only thing it makes us think is that, maybe she doesn't have that much education. Maybe she grew up in the inner city. Maybe she works as a Clear Hills model, if you know what I mean, at night to pay her bill. You are now listening to the authentic male perspective on dating and relationships. What is he thinking?
And now, without further ado, your host, Alexander B. Stevens.
I was on a trip a couple years ago talking to one of my friends who's been on the podcast before, a mutual friend. We'll call him Coach. And Coach told me something that I'd always have felt, but I hadn't heard before. And he said, we're in Vegas and watching some girls walk by. And he was like, you know what, Alexander? I just can't stand these women that wear these ridiculously long pterodactyl wing. That wear these ridiculously long eyelashes. They're just out of control. Ridiculous. They don't make women look better. I've never come across a guy that was like, I would date her, but her eyelashes are too short. So I'm going to have to pass it up. I've never met a guy that got a girl into the back room and was about to do the do and zipped his pants back up because he didn't like her eyelashes. I've never seen that. I've never heard that. So I really don't understand the emphasis or what women think they're doing when they put on these clownish eyelashes. What do you think about that, S-Dub?
Eyelashes. I would say I agree. I've seen some really long eyelashes that make me cringe, but I would say as long as the eyelashes are as close to normal looking as possible, I think it's all right to me. But as I mentioned, and like you said, I mean, you see them long 3-4 inch long eyelashes. Yeah, that's definitely not something that's going to attract you to you. So I agree with you. That's long eyelashes, just like the super long fingernails, are just not doing it.
Not doing it. I need you not to spoil the next item on my list, but hey, we'll stick to the eyelashes now. We'll get to the fingernails later, but I got one last anecdote about the eyelashes. So This is a true story. I was at a friend's birthday party a couple weeks ago, and my listeners might know this friend because this friend does my intro and my closing for my podcast episodes. Anyway, I was at a party. I was sitting across from some girls I did not know. We were about to order because this party was at a restaurant. We had a private room. We're about to order, and I look at a girl, and she's holding the menu all kind of far away. And she's kind of squinting at it and struggling to see what's on the menu. So I kind of overlistened, eavesdropped what she's saying to her friend. And she's kind of like, I can barely see. What does that say here? What does this say there? And her friend's like, girl, you don't have your contacts in? Where are your glasses? And she was like, yeah, I mean, with these eyelashes I have in, they just scrape up against the back of my glasses. So I'm not going to not wear these lashes. So I just left my glasses at home. And I was like, what? And I looked at her eyelashes, and they're like 2 to 3 inches long. And I'm like, you're going to walk through life blind and struggling to put on some 3-inch long eyelashes for what? That men don't like? That men are repulsed by? I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know, like, where did that come from? Like, I don't understand where that came from. I have no idea where it came from. I don't understand that.
Like, did a guy 40 years ago tell a woman somewhere that you'd be hot if your lashes were longer? Or something? I don't know. I just don't get it. Anyway, let's move on to number 2. What do you got for us? What's on your list? What's something that women do, wear, or say that you just don't understand?
Man, I'm going to go into some things that I've heard personally that I know I don't like hearing. Like, I do not like it when ladies say like, what up, bruh? What up, my dude? What up, my guy?
Terrible.
Like, you can just say, hey, how you doing? To me, it gives off this vibe that's like, I don't know, like, what are you trying to get to? Especially if you find some interest in me, or if you want me to find some interest in you, hitting me up with a what up, dude? What up, my bruh? That's just off. That's off-putting to me. So that's some things that I'm going to tell you. Those sayings right there really turn me off. If I hear that, I'm almost instantly just going on to the next one.
You just saying, repulsed.
All right, peace. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't consider it to be, Alexander, like ladylike. And call me whatever you want, folks, but I'm a little more on the conservative side. So to me, a lady is, especially if it's someone that I have a true interest in, I'm viewing her through the lens of I want her to be my lady eventually or somehow. And I want to be able to keep this image in my mind or in my head of she's this nice lady. So using those kind of words, I'm like, that's like my boys, not my lady, not the one that I keep my eye out on, not the one that when I walk around, I'm like, yeah, that's my lady right there.
Yeah, it's pretty masculine if you ask me. When I hear something like that, is she must be friend zoning me, because if she liked me, she wouldn't be talking to me like she was a dude. You know what I mean?
I agree. And I mean, like, I'm hearing it. Like, sometimes when I'm out and about, I think you mostly hear it primarily like when you're like in the club, like in a certain type of setting. I really hear it. But it's just like, wow, I don't get it. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why they keep doing it, while some keep doing it. But I guess that's why we're here, hoping that maybe that can change sooner rather than later.
That's why we're here. We're here to let you know things that you do or that you have seen that you probably shouldn't do anymore because we don't like it. It's definitely a turn off. We already alluded to number 3 on the list, so I'll just drop it right now. Men have no use for pterodactyl claws on a woman. No use for 3-inch, 5-inch, 10-inch, Cardi B inch, whatever you want to call it. Long, ridiculous nails on a woman. It doesn't attract us. The only thing it makes us think is that, maybe she doesn't have that much education. Maybe she grew up in the inner city. Maybe she works as a Clear Hills model, if you know what I mean, at night to pay her bills. It doesn't breed lady.
Yeah.
It doesn't breed beauty, classy. It's none of that.
Exactly. No, like, another thing I notice when I see that is like, if you ever just try to shake the hand, like sometimes the nails are like 1, 2, 3 inches and you try to shake their hands. And if you actually turn the hand over, you can see underneath the nails. Not pleasant to look at sometimes.
Whoa.
Not pleasant at all. And they're just so long. And then a lot of times as well, I see just, they're all these different colors. And I'm like, yikes. Okay, lady.
It's like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? It's like a cry for attention almost, because it's not practical in any sense of the word. So what exactly are we doing? And, you said you look under the nails and you see things you don't want to see. Well, I don't even want to think about how do they keep their hygiene up in the restroom. Let's not even talk about that. You know what I mean? We got 4-inch nails. It's kind of yikes.
Yeah, I agree. I say, a nice French manicure is nice to look at. That nice white tip. I think it's maybe a 1/2 inch long. Like, that's very nice. Very nice to look at.
I was just about to say the same thing. And I couldn't agree with you more, man. Couldn't agree with you more. So let's move on to item number 4. What do you got for us, S-Dub?
Yeah, man, Alexander. Another thing I know I don't like is when you coming up to a lady and you're like, what's up? And she's like, what's up? She comes up behind you and she slaps you on the butt. Like, whoa. I like, that happened during high school sports, high school football, high school baseball. And I'm like, woo. That's happened to me a couple times, and I just look at him like, whoa, what are you doing?
Definitely sexually aggressive. And once again, it doesn't breed feminine, classy. It doesn't give me the sense that this is a woman I might make my girlfriend one day. All it does is, well, if she's cute enough, this could be a 2-week fling or whatever, but I'm not taking her seriously at all. If you're slapping me on the butt and grabbing me in certain places before you even know my last name, you feel me?
Yeah. Like I said, Alexander, I take this from my standpoint as being, like I said, I'm more of a conservative. I work hard and I really am a forward-thinking person, especially when it comes to relationships. I look at them with a very half-glass full approach, and that's how I am as a person. So when I'm thinking about women, I really have an idea in my head of what I want. So to match up well with me, slapping on the tail, not a good first impression.
Definitely not. And another thing that comes to mind when you bring that up is, imagine if the roles were reversed. I'm just meeting a young lady and I just grab a body part that I like. I just slap a body part that I like. How would that go?
Oh, yeah. Definitely not the way you want. You catch a real firm slap across.